It's a good Friday evening here in Canton, Georgia. I hope it's a good one where you are as well. This video is about Presonus Studio One 5 upgrade or Sphere. Which one makes more sense for you? I'm going to tell you how I came up with my decision here as to which one made sense for me. Coming up next. Every so often, software companies come out with a new version, and we all have to consider whether we're going to upgrade to that new version or not. Of course, Presonus is no different, and we've all been anticipating this upgrade to Studio One 5 coming out, and here we are. Studio One 5 comes out. For those of us who already had a subscription, it's one price. Maybe if you didn't have it, it's another. For me, it was going to be $150 to update from 4 Pro to 5 Pro. At the same time, they announced Presonus Sphere, right? And the Presonus Sphere being the subscription service that is very much like a lot of the other subscription services that are out now, where you have options to get access to their entire catalog of all of the Presonus products that they've put out over time. So which one makes sense for you? Now I looked at this and I said, Studio One 5, well, there's some interesting features in there. Maybe not, 100% compelling for me. I do like several of them, but I'm not sure I wanted to drop $150 on that right now. So I looked at those features, and then I looked also at the Sphere option of $15 a month. And of course I can do some basic math and know that $15 a month, I'm only going to be 10 months in before I get to that $150. So if all I'm going to get out of it is the upgrade to Studio One 5, that's probably not a good way to spend my money. Unless, of course, $150 is going to break the bank, then of course $15 is a little easier to digest on that. So I went through the catalog, found all of the items in the Presonus catalog that are in existence right now, or at least at last week, that I would want, and I added up their values. And here's what I came up with. With Studio One 5 would be $150. For the Presence XT Studio One Presonus Studio Grand would be another $80. I was actually kind of surprised because there was one called Studio One Grand in my library, so I was thinking that I already had that. Turns out I didn't. I have Studio One Grand pianos, but not the actual expansion pack, which, by the way, sounds way better. The Presence XT editor, that would be another $80. The Presonus Symphonic Orchestra, which I've downloaded but not yet installed, that would be another $100. The Fat Channel Complete Collection, another $150, and that's way down from the $499 it used to be. And even though I already have myself a Console 1, there are still times where I want to experiment with other compressors and EQs. The CTC one, not sure if I'd buy that for $80, but that's how much it is, and I would like to be able to play around with that. That's another $80. And then even within this first month, they've released the Deep Flight 1 at $100. Again, not sure I'd pay $100 for it, but as a part of a subscription package, what that tells me is that they are committed to doing something ongoing that is either going to cost extra or is included in the subscription. So when I add all of those items together, I came up with $740. At $15 a month, that comes out to 49 months. And that in and of itself actually is not a bad deal if any of those other things aside from the Studio One upgrades are that valuable to me. But then I also started thinking about it from the perspective of, okay, well, that's great. That's 49 months. But what about 2 years from now, or maybe 3, but I'm going to assume 2 since that this last update cycle was that. They come out with Studio One 6. Well, I'm going to have to pay another $149 to do that upgrade. So looking at it from the perspective of now, $150, and then in 24 months, $150 to get me out to another 2 years beyond that. So that's 48 months. What would that spend look like between those two? So if I were to buy those outright right? I would be at $150 now, $150 in 24 months. So at the 24-month period, this is what that looks like. So let's take a look at that. Here's my calculator. So we say I've got my, okay, so that's $300 for the 2 upgrades. So for $15 a month times 24 months, I'm at $360. So once I got to that 24th month, and then I will have spent, $300, now I'm at $360, and I will automatically, of course, at that point get Studio One 6 when that comes out, and I've spent an extra $60. Now I'm thinking all of that other stuff is worth $60, so I take the $740 is actually worth. I'm going to take about $150 out of that, of course, because I got the Studio One 5 upgrade in there. So $150 out of $740 leaves me $590. So if I've got $590 now, $590 minus the $360 that I'm actually going to spend means $230 of that is free stuff. That's where I am at 24 months. Now, of course, if I go on to pay for 48 months, that's going to double that amount, and I'm going to be in for more. So I am hopeful that the Deep Flight 1 is a good indication of how Presonus is going to treat this. They're a smart business. They're going to continue to put things out that are going to compel their users to continue to subscribe. Otherwise, people will bail and they'll just go buy the upgrade. If you're like me, you look at those kinds of numbers over time and you say, well, Presonus is probably pretty smart. They're going to keep adding things to that. They're going to keep me hooked at that $15 a month, which just becomes part of my budget, part of my normal monthly spending. $15 a month is honestly not very much money for most people. Sure, you can find $15 that you're wasting on something else that's less important and put it in here instead. So for me, it makes sense to go with the Sphere update. I know that I'm going to get all of those things guaranteed. I'm likely going to get value from the extra stuff that's being contributed to that subscription by people who are going to be adding, demo videos and tutorials and things like that. The collaboration that I might be able to get online with some other people to be able to share files and things, and the additional content and things like presets and sample libraries and things that I'm hopeful that Presonus is going to continue to add over the course of time. I think that if they do this right, if they play it right, they will keep customers like me engaged at the $15 a month. I hope this video has been useful for you to kind of break down what makes sense, what doesn't make sense, both financially and feature-wise, for your decision to upgrade to Studio One 5, upgrade to Presonus Sphere, or stay right where you're at right now. If you got value out of this video, I'd appreciate it if you'd like it, subscribe to it, or share it with other people. I hope you have a great weekend. Thanks for watching.